What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. Today we're going over Memento. This is going to be the deck I'm going to take the locals for this Saturday. This is going to be the sneak peek deck that I'm going to be taking to it. Memento is one of my fan favorite decks I've been playing for a while now. I am playing the pure version, so this is no Fiendsmith in it, which is going to be including some of the side deck cards I'll be playing at our locals. This is going to be for the sneak peeks. It's going to be playing against some of the new decks as well as the old decks. I'm trying to include some cards that I want to see against Ariziel as well as against Malice. So I'm going to kind of explain that to you guys, and I'm going in the comment section afterwards on Saturday, saying what happened and what kind of I would change. Before we dive into, for the like, comment, subscribe, push in a lot. You're going to be seeing this in a POV for next week as well. So if you guys want to be seeing this deck in live action, stay tuned for that. But we're going to be playing the pure version, so it's going to be pretty simple with the 3 Darkblade, 3 Anguish, the 3 Tatsumoshigu. These are going to be all your 1-card starters. You also have Goblin as a 1-card starter as well. This is going to be your 3 main starters. So we are playing the triple Anguish because we are playing into a format where we're going to be going into like high impact everything, high hand traps. So I don't want to be seeing getting hit with Droll. So I'm not playing the Rhoda and stuff like that. I'm not putting down the Anguish for the Rhoda. I want to have multiple names. And I'm also on 2 Sleepy, which means that I'm going to be wanting multiple names as well. So Sleeper is a better starter. As well as having different names in the deck. It just lets me summon with the big guy more often. So that's going to be why we're going for this. As well as it is the pure variant. If we're playing the Fiendsmith variant, you can cut down the Anguish to 2. But we're not playing that. Therefore, you're playing the 3. So like I mentioned earlier, we're also playing the double Sleepy. This is going to be one of your better extenders. I love this card because it is an extender as well as a starter with another Memento in the hand. And of course, being destroyed, it does that stuff as well for the deck. Having the second one in the hand and your opponent doesn't know about it always is pretty nice. Everyone at my locals knows that I play 2 of it now, so it doesn't really make that much of a difference. But if you're going to a regionals, definitely keep in mind that this card is kind of crazy, and you could definitely play it the 2. We're playing the 1 combined creation, obviously, the 1 Gatic, the 1 Akiron, the 1 Horn Dragon, the 1 Mace, and the 1 Goblin. So we are still on the 1 Goblin. This is going to be a hot take, but I don't think the other cards are going to be good. You know, this card definitely is nice, the Breakout with the other Goblin. But my problem is, if I'm playing these cards here, I really want to be playing the Doug Charger. And if I'm playing the Doug Charger, I really want to be playing the Grand Entrance. So, like, all of a sudden, I have 5 cards in my deck. I guess you could say these 5 cards, like, help me dodge Imperm a little bit more, but then I have like 2 more bricks as well as another brick that I don't want to see as often. So I'm just taking these cards out, throwing them out, and playing more hand traps. So that's kind of where I'm going for this part of the deck. You know, it isn't the same as Fiendsmith. I'd play the Fiendsmith variant over those cards any single day. But we're playing the pure variant, which means we're going to be staying away from those cards, and we have enough cards to dodge Valor and Imperm as is. A little Stuck and Sleepy helps with that as well. So that's going to be it for the engine part of the deck. Now we move on to the hand traps. We're playing, of course, lots of hand traps. Triple Ash Blossom, triple Imperm, triple Valor, double Ghost Ogre, double Bell. So I'm actually playing the double Bell in this build because we can't play Nibiru. So here's why you can't play Nibiru is because you don't have the Tatsumoshigu, which when you have that in your hand, you have another way. We don't want to normal summon it out over the Nib. So we're playing the Bell instead. This is really good against Malice because it's Fiendsmith as well as a bunch of different random rogue matchups. Against like Fire King and stuff like that. I guess it's also decent against Galaxy Eyes. It's good against Kriston, which is a low rarity deck in the next set. So playing at Sneak Peek, we're most likely going to be seeing it. It's good against the water deck as well. So just like playing a bunch of different cards that I think is going to be good. I'm discussing the 2 Ghost Ogre as well as the 2 Ghost Spell. Kind of see how that kind of goes. And you know, this card negates activation, so you can also activate in the name step, which can come up against like some random stuff. I don't exactly know what it can come up, but it can come up against like Tempai if we're playing against a Tempai Fiendsmith deck. Which stuff like that. And also good against Bestials, you know, so I can like if I try to hit with a Bestial on my copy of Gatic, I can actually Bell the Bestial so that I keep that Gatic, summon it back out, which is pretty nice. So it is a defensive card as well as an offensive card, and it just kind of helps the hand trap count as well as, you know, always being good. Labyrinth also a deck that's at our locals quite a bit, and I think Mimigul as well, and I think Bell hits Mimigul just as much as it hit Labyrinth, so pretty nice with that as well. Just having multiple hand traps you can kind of hit. Then for consistency cards, we are playing the triple copies of Bone Party. This is the card alongside the double copies of Fusion that says you dodge those hand traps. I hope that we get a super or an ultra version of this soon. This card's absolutely gorgeous, absolutely crazy. You can play 3 if you want to in the pure variant, but we're still opting the 2 because Akiron lets you add back, and you normally have like multiple access to all of these. So we're just opting to play that at 2. We are playing the field spell as well. Obviously, at 1, this card's absolutely crazy. Oh, Ghost Ogre kind of goes hard on this, so if you're playing against this deck, definitely Ghost Ogre this card. It is going to give you so much advantage. But Yeah, this also lets you search. Don't forget it can search itself as well. And then also Akira can add back from the Banana Stone, so you can have access to both of them quite easily in the combo, which is against why we're only playing two. But I am playing also Prosperity here, as well as double copies of Talents and a Call of the Grave. So this is like my non-engine that's not hand traps. So Prosperity definitely can be cut, but I'm doing the same thing I was doing in Fire King, but playing Ultimate Slayer, which means I can have Prosperity, and Prosperity is essentially going to be a free send, like 4 at the point, plus 2 other cards to kind of get access to stuff. So making me able to choose what cards I want to see in my hand, going first, like depending on if I need to see an extender or something like that, helps out quite a bit. Talents, because it is a heavy hand trap format. You can play other board breakers. I don't like dropless in this deck, but you can play Book of Eclipse. Call of the Grave for those pesky shifters and stuff like that, and a hand trap when it definitely hurts. And for the last card, we are playing the one copy of the Fracture Dance. You can play the other copy of the other one, Cranium Burst, if you want to. We're opting to put that in the side deck for this, just because the way that the format kind of shapes around, I want to be able to pop cards, stuff like that, against like Ryziel, compared to like banishing, or I guess negating the stuff like I would want to against Malice and stuff like that. Ultimately, up to your locals, you definitely can change the trap card around, just depending on the spade in your side deck or your main deck. Doesn't really matter as long as they're both in there. You're going to be seeing success. So now for the extra deck, we are playing the triple copies of the Creation King. We're playing this because we are sending Ultimate Slayer as well as the Pure variant. If you're not playing Pure, you definitely can keep this on the 2. We are playing the Twin Dragon because we are playing against Castor Unicorns as well as the Pure. So having this 2 in your extra deck is going to be quite helpful. Then for the end cards, we're playing the Mirage, the Cross Sheep, and the SP, as well as the copy of Guardian Chimera. These are going to be your things you end up going for a lot of times during your end step, I guess I should say, whatever you want to end on. Cross Sheep just gets you into one of these normally. And then, of course, like Guardian Chimera during your opponent's turn. You don't actually make this quite often, just that if you need to, which is kind of important. And like the SP as well, you make it when you need to. Cross Sheep lets you go into Herald quite easily as well. But being able to like leave this on the field, sometimes you can bring back other like stuff, bring back things to pop multiple stuff with the Creation King can be quite nice as well. Then you are playing the Typhon, the Underworld Goddess for your flex spots. These are only 2 cards you actually are going to make in your extra deck. The rest of cards are going to be Ultimate Slayer targets. So this is like for when you have like the bad matchups where you're going to have to slap this down and then be able to bounce stuff like that. And then Underworld Goddess, you do swarm the field quite a bit. Cross Sheep also can help you facilitate that, where you can go into one of these and then like an unaffected monster like Noir or like a Psychic End Punisher, stuff like that. So this deck definitely can come up when you do make this when it's hard to out monster. Your opponent doesn't see it. You can play Moon as well if you play the Fiendsmith stuff. But we're not playing Fiendsmith, so we're not playing the Moon. And now because we are playing the Ultimate Slayer, we also are playing Ultimate Slayer targets. We're choosing the Pack Bit, the Aggravator, as well as the Bufo, and we are playing the Garua. So the reason why we're playing Garua is just because I had a 15 card in my extra deck, and I wasn't going to play the Silhouette Rabbit. You definitely can if you want to, or this can be a Moon, definitely up to your choice. But this, when it sends out the Bufo, lets you draw a card. So just having an extra draw card, which you always side out Prosperity going second anyways, you put in the Ultimate Slayers. Going up against Malice, I wanted to have a link monster that's good to send against. So sending Bufo, and then I wanted like, okay, well, I can get one more card off of this. It essentially replaces itself, which is pretty nice. So that's going to be pretty good. Obviously, this is for against Ryziel, and this is for random synchro decks like Kriston, and then other stuff like Sword Soul, whatever you kind of fight at your locals. Being able to put this, I wanted every single card to kind of do 2 things. So not only does Ultimate Slayer use these, this negates a card, this pushes a card into Spell and Trap card zone, and then of course, this lets me draw a card, and of course, against a fusion, I can either send this, or I can send this, which gives me either a draw or a copy of the field spell. So that's kind of it for the extra deck. You definitely can change up the cards if you want to. If you're not playing Ultimate Slayer, you don't want to, you can cut down like all 5 of these. And you could play, I'd play another one of these myself. You could play like Moon, and then like a Draco Stapelia, and then whatever else you want to. The Silhouette Rabbit, and then maybe an IP. Ultimately up to you. But for the side deck, we are playing the 3 Lancias against Malice. We're playing Droll and Lockbirds against the Malice deck, as well as against the water deck. Memento becomes a new thing. I think it's also good against Kriston. I'm not exactly sure, but a bunch of different rogue decks add a lot. So having Droll in the format is going to be quite nice when you're entering a format you don't know that much about. Then we are playing the Carapace Feather Duster and the 2 Cosmics. We always play this. Then we are playing the Ultimate Slayers, like I mentioned earlier, for our going second card with our side deck. You definitely can change these out forever you want to. Again, we're not playing the Bureau. We want to play a high high impact hand trap, which is why we're playing Droll and Lockbird. Also important to note. And then we are playing, for our going first cards, the Cranium Burst, as well as 2 Solemn Judgments. So the reason why we're playing a lower going first, if we go first, our end board is busted. You cannot beat it. Setting the Judgments or Strikes, essentially just unbeatable. And then, like, of course, it's like you just change this out for whatever trap you want to. But, like, this kind of stops any of the stuff. You can play a copy of whatever they call Crossout Designator if you want to instead. But I like the Judgments because it stops normal summons as well as, like, the random hand traps or against random, like, board breakers that you would kind of see against. That's kind of the reason why I'm playing the Judgment. I definitely could bump up a 3rd Judgment, but I don't really know what else I want to play. You know, maybe cut down the Lancia if I want to. Like, the new card for the Suda, the Link 4, could be put in the extra deck as well. You could play like that, and then summon up the Lancia every single turn. You could play less Lancias and stuff like that, or Thrust if you want to. And then you could, like, set a Sanctum if you want, but we're opting to play this. It's going to be the first attempt for Suda, of course. But other than that, it looks pretty decent. If you guys have any comments, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys would change. I definitely can give this deck a change before I end up going to locals. If there's any other options I end up seeing, like in our chat, that I end up deciding, I'll definitely let it know in the comment section down below. But for stay safe, if you want to see more content like this, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm going to be taking this deck to locals, like I said earlier in the video, this Saturday. So if you guys are going to our locals, you guys kind of saw the exact list. Make sure you prepare for it. Don't say, oh, I didn't know the second Sleepy was there. I'll call you out. Don't stay safe. Peace.